It is so miserably hot. So miserably hot. Today we're going to talk about haters. And do I dare say bullies? I don't know if haters and bullies can be categorized in the same fashion, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Yes, haters and bullies. Let's just generalize this a little bit more, and it's just going to be both. This isn't something that I'm saying is like psychologically true, so this is just advice from someone who's done these things. But here are my 5 ways to deal with haters. Now, a lot of people try to say like, oh, don't retaliate, don't do anything because haters gonna hate, blah, 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 blah. Bullies do this and it's easier if you just don't give them anything to bully you for. Well, here's the thing. Bullies don't necessarily bully you because you're looking to be bullied. If you have to retaliate, do it. I mean, not every situation needs a retaliation, but there are times when the only way you can win is to fight fire with fire. So let's start it up with number 5. Number 5 is something I kind of talked about in my last episode about being a bitch, but not saying or doing anything. This is the bitchiest thing you could do without doing anything, if that makes sense. Don't get me wrong, there's a little bit of effort to this, and that is to ignore them. That's right, in my last episode I talked about being a bitch and how ignoring them is really bitchy thing to do. Don't ignore them as in like, you know, playing nonchalant and looking scared, looking innocent. No. You own that ignoring. You make sure that they know you give 0 fucks about their existence. Especially if it's just in passing. If this is like a one-time bully, this is the best way to do it. These haters are going to just keep walking because they don't care that they're looking for. These haters are going to keep on walking. They're looking to get a rise out of you, and the fact that you didn't get, they're looking to give a rise out of you. And the thing is if you don't give them that rise, they're just gonna keep going. They don't care now because the joke is kind of ruined since you do not even perceive their existence. Number 4. Realize that these people are not only wrong, but weak. They need something to legitimize their own life. What do? They insult people. They give themselves some type of credence in life by just being an asshole to you or a friend or a family member or whoever it is. They're just doing this because it gives them their purpose when they really don't have any. So keep that in mind. And also keep in mind, people tend to follow the pack mentality. That means that they're gonna see someone grouping up on another person and they're gonna attack the weak person. Don't feed into the pack mentality. If you know where these people are hanging out, if you know where these kids or whoever these people are that are constantly berating you and constantly bullying and constantly hating on you, try to avoid it the best you can. I mean, obviously you can't all the time, but if you can, just avoid it. That's the best fucking thing you could do because people are fucking wolves. And not in the cool, look at them, they're pretty and they have really awesome eyes and they howl at the moon kind of way. No, they rip you apart just because they see someone else ripping someone apart. They're learning from each other that this is okay, when it's really not. Why do we have to hate on each other for something, for nothing, really at all? But you can get back at them. This has to do with their weakness. Everyone has weaknesses. Everyone has their problems, their issues, especially if you've been in school and you've had all these issues in school. So what you do is you study them, figure out what their biggest weakness is, and attack. Did they wet their bed in 3rd grade? Is their nose slightly larger than normal? Do they kind of have a lisp? Find something that they're aware of and that they have some type of self-consciousness about. Because if you figure out what their weakness is, it just makes it all more easy to strike back. Number 3. Wit over worry. Along with knowing what their weakness is, try to figure out what your weakness is. What did they make fun of you for? What is the biggest issue that you have with yourself? Think of everything that they can possibly attack you with. know what your weaknesses are, know what they're going to say, think of every possible outcome, and then come up with witty ways to combat that. Knowing your weaknesses is going to help a ton, because if you know what they're going to say, it won't really be original anymore. You can probably say it before they even say it, or you could be like, oh, that's so sad that you can't even come up with something very original. Create a vault of things you can say to retaliate with. If you do this, there's nothing original they can say to you that'll hurt your feelings, and it'll probably help you do the 5th step, which is ignore them. Now, it might be funny, or it could just cut really deep into them. And also read the room. If you feel like your life might be in a little bit of danger, maybe not retaliate, but try to find a way to get yourself out of that situation. Number two is basically just to learn how to take criticism. I'm not gonna say that this is like constructive criticism, because it really isn't. There's, for the most part, haters just hate, and they're not gonna like anything of yours. But if you can take the hate and learn how to take it in and not feel the pain from it as much, that's the best thing you can do. Because now when you actually get constructive criticism, you're going to be able to take it in and actually respect that criticism. Having that thicker skin and being able to take the criticism may make you a stronger person in the long run. Much stronger than they'll be in like 20 years when they don't have a better job because they don't know how to work with others that well. Because I'm the top dog and I don't need to take criticism from anybody like you. They don't know how to work well with people. They don't know how to work well with others, and they think they're the fucking shit. But guess what? They're not. And you know who is? You, because now you know what your weaknesses are, and you can find people who have that as a strength, and work as a team, work as a group, work with someone to make you stronger, and just say, go fuck yourself. And then there's number one. Number one is basically to hit below the belt. What I'm basically saying is just go for the dick, or vagina. But not literally, figuratively. Every man's worst fear is to be considered inadequate downstairs. Now, whether or not they have a tiny dick or not, doesn't matter. This is my final bit of advice to you, and this is one of those things that may or may not get you in more trouble, but it may help at least make yourself feel a little bit better about the situation. Someone might be coming up and hating on you about the way you speak, what your hair looks like, the fact you have glasses, whatever that they think is wrong with you. But there's always a retaliation. Yes, and it's this. Oh, I'm sorry you have a tiny dick.
Oh, I'm sorry you have a tiny dick.
This is going to make their head explode. Here's where it gets a little risky, but taking the risk sometimes is worth it. They're going to say something along the lines of, I don't have a tiny dick. I'll even show it to you. He may or may not actually unzip his pants and pull it out. But you may have instigated this whole thing, but who's really going to get in trouble if he actually pulls it out? Him. So you've won. You've won this battle regardless. Whether or not he pulls it out or not, you've won because A, people think he has a tiny dick, or B, he pulls it out and gets in bigger trouble with the cops or school or wherever you are. You've become your own savior by making a tiny dick joke. You never thought that that was ever going to happen, did you? But no, it just did. It just did right here on this channel. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, but what if it's a girl? Women are more afraid of the fact that their vaginas are more enlarged, that they may or may not be a slut or whore. Whether that's true, again, it doesn't matter, because what we're doing is just inputting into other people's minds that they are a giant slut. They're making fun of your hair, they're making fun of the way you talk, they're making fun of your glasses, your looks, your skin, your whatever. They're making fun of your clothes. However this works, you got this. Oh, I'm sorry, you were talking to me? Oh, I couldn't hear you over the echo of your gaping vagina. And just watch the horror that has just come across their mind. I hope you liked this episode, and if you did, give it a like and a subscribe, as well as give me some comments. Throw some ideas in there. Maybe you have ways to get rid of bullies or haters or however you deal with them. I'd like to know. I'd like to know the ways that you deal with them, because I might steal them in my future hating experience, because I already know that I'm gonna have a lot. And don't forget, you can stalk me on all my social media found in my description below, and as well as my other channel, WhatsItToYa Productions, where we do a bunch of goofy things, so you can click on that as well. So until next time, everybody,